Well, I think it's important when you run any campaign, a communication campaign, a policy campaign, to include all the players. So, for instance, last year, the Italian Embassy ran a campaign called 2013 Year of Italian Culture, and the idea was to sort of communicate that Italy is not just about art and music and Leonardo and Michelangelo, but behind art, behind culture, there's always innovation, there's always research, there's academia, there's a flow of students from Italy to the US and from the US to Italy. So when you plan that campaign, you have to include all players. So at that point, students that from Italy, they come to the US, or students that from the US go to Italy. And when you use social media, it's so much easier to include all players and all stakeholders, to engage them, to ask them questions, to ask them opinions, what they think about the events, what if they have ideas on future events, and when they feel involved and engaged, it's sort of easier for them to engage you back and be part of the conversation and give you ideas and work on those ideas and develop them into your own strategy. Well, it's easy to say retweets, followers, likes. I would go beyond that. I think that success is even like a tweet back to your ambassador, to your embassy, saying, I like this event, and I asked my family to go check that event. That's the first part of success. Now, if you go to numbers, then truly, followers and retweets and the use of the hashtag that you develop, it's important, and that helps you sort of understand where your tweets are going, who they're targeting, and if the target that you plan at the very beginning is actually responding. But again, I think the first step is to see that even one person tweets back to you and say, I liked it. I'm actually, word of mouth, and going to talk to my family, going to talk to my students, going to talk to my friends, and go back to the event and check it out. Well, the first advice is to learn to listen. Truly, there's so much out there on Twitter and Facebook, and it's really hard to listen. But if you sort of understand who to follow, who to listen, if you create lists, for instance, on Twitter and Facebook, it's really easy nowadays. Like the millennials have grown with tools like Twitter and Facebook. They don't need to adapt to those tools. So at that point, they just need to sort of tweak their presence and the way they engage with people. So if you start listening first, and then you're going to be more successful in terms of engaging people and being a sort of diplomat for the future.